I want to welcome everyone to the Capitol. Thank you for coming out today. This is an amazing turnout for all Virginia students. Let's give our Virginia students a big round of applause. My name is Kelly Lemon, and I have the honor of being your MC for today. And today we have Congressman McEachin, various delegates that will be introduced a little later. Of course, Mayor Stoney, Superintendent of Richmond Public Schools, Jason Camrus, and other state and local leaders supporting the cause. And we're going to get right to it. First, we'd like to introduce to the stage Superintendent Jason Camrus.
Hello, hello, hello. How you doing? You made it across the bridge. I am so excited to be here with you today. I just want to share one thing, and then I have a great honor of introducing one of our amazing students. I'm just going to read you a poem. This is a very short poem by one of my former students, and I think it speaks to why we are here today. This was by a young woman named Micaiah, and she was in my photography program when I taught middle school math. And this is what she wrote. I am a flower. I am beautiful. I am delicate. I am enticing. I am a flower. I am healthy. I am strong. I am resilient. I am a flower. I need your care. I need your love. I need your nourishment. I am a flower, but I am not defenseless. Don't forget, I also have thorns and poisons. I only ask that you treat me with respect and dignity. I am a flower. We are here today to treat our students and our teachers and all of the people who work every day on behalf of Virginia's children with respect and dignity. Will you join me? Yeah. All right. And now, I have the great honor of introducing an extraordinary young person from Richmond Public Schools. Isatu Berry is a 10th grader at Richmond Community. Isatu is on my student advisory council, and so I have had the great honor of working with her for several months now. And I have to say, she is a true inspiration. Ladies and gentlemen, Isatu Berry.
Thank you, Mr. Camrus. Greetings. My name is Isatu Berry. I am a sophomore at Richmond Community High. I have been in RPS since I came back from my mother country, Guinea, which has been about 7 years now. When I came here, I became so optimistic of what I can become: a doctor, a singer, or even an astronaut. Since then, RPS has provided me with the necessities needed to excel in life. At least, that's what I thought. I am here at the March for More on a cold weekend in December because I believe in what we, as a union, can achieve. We need to support our students who may be your children or your grandchildren or even your neighbor with the proper tools necessary to thrive in their learning environment and life. A prime example of the insufficient funding for Richmond Public Schools is our underpaid and overworked teachers. Teachers work arduously at their jobs, yet aren't compensated enough. This custom is leading to the shortage of teachers in RPS. It is hard to work at a job if you aren't appreciated enough. So teachers quit, leaving classes and the minds of students vacant. At my school, we have teachers teaching up to 4 advanced placement classes. Work and play should be at an equilibrium. Enough pay for teachers means more devout teachers in RPS and more students being educated. After all, as women's education activist Malala Yousafzai once said, let us remember, one book, one pen, one child, and one teacher can change the world. Thank you for joining us here at the Capitol. I'm going to turn it over to Superintendent of Henrico County Public Schools, Dr. Cashwell. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, I'm Amy Cashwell, Superintendent of Henrico County Schools, and I'm proud to be joined today by members of our school board, Roscoe Cooper and Bill Pike. We stand before you today in support not only of Henrico County students, not only in support of the students of Richmond and our neighboring regions, but for the entire state of Virginia. Students in Virginia deserve more. It is time to fully fund public education in Virginia. And we think of all of the reasons that important, but specifically, we're here today in support of our teachers in order to serve our students well. We know that our teachers may just be some of the most influential people in our young students' lives. They are the people who go far beyond the curriculum to make every lesson meaningful. They know their students. They strive to figure out what is best for every child. They're up late grading papers in the middle of night, paying money out of their own pockets to make sure students have the supplies that they need. They sacrifice time with their own families to make sure someone else's child's having a breakthrough. They believe in the power of standing up and doing good things for other people. So do we believe that it's our turn to stand up for them? Do we believe that our teachers deserve all the support that they can get? You bet we do. It is no secret that teachers everywhere are overworked and underpaid, but we know they're also some of the most inspiring people we know. And that is why the Henrico County School Board and me join you in asking our elected representatives to increase the state share of funding for public education now. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Cashwell. One more time for Henrico Schools, the students and the teachers. Now I'd like to introduce Congressman Don McEachin, who represents Virginia's 4th District in Washington. He's been fighting for education for decades when he served here in the General Assembly, and he is taking the fight for us to Congress. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Congressman Don McEachin.
Good afternoon, and thank you for that. It's good to see all of you all. Y'all look beautiful. Thank you for coming out on this cold day. Mr. Mayor, good job. Good job in organizing this. As we all know, public education is the backbone of our democracy, the roadmap for our future, and our way to create opportunity for our children. Public schools teach our children to read, to write, and they teach arithmetic. They teach them to think critically, to separate fact and opinion, and to meet and appreciate diverse students. But our schools are struggling, and here in Richmond we have falling ceilings, incidents of mold, mildew, cracked floors, walls, and insufficient and outdated supplies. We cannot expect our children to learn and lead when they are forced to study in buildings that are dilapidated and obsolete. We have to have more funding. This year, the Federal Department of Education will provide roughly $750 million in non-competitive funding for elementary and secondary schools in Virginia. But that's the whole state. The federal government can and should do more, and I'll fight to see if we can't make that happen. But as we all know, historically, Historically, education has been a state prerogative. In Richmond, state funding is down almost 20%, while the student population has grown by 10%. You just can't work that math out. Some localities, which are supposed to provide 45% of funding, are now providing nearly 60% of funding. Lower income students and students with special needs suffer even more under those conditions. This is unacceptable. We must have more state dollars to close the gap, to fix our schools, to pay our teachers as the professionals that they are, and to help ensure every student has the opportunity to succeed. I'm here today to promise you that I'll help carry that message. While I don't have a vote in the General Assembly anymore, I still have friends, and they'll hear from me. They'll hear that we must have more funding. Thank you for being here. God bless you, and God bless our students.
Thank you, Congressman, and all that you do for Virginia education. Thank you. This movement has also gained support from Congresswoman-elect Abigail Spanberger. Even though she regrets that she could not be here with us today, she wanted to share the following statement of support. Our students deserve high-quality facilities, academic support, and the necessary resources to overcome intangible hurdles, homelessness, hunger, displacement, the list goes on. Likewise, our teachers deserve a living wage, support from our leadership, and the resources to help students achieve, regardless of their zip code or neighborhood. As parents also want to know that their children are getting the best education possible, that schools can once again serve as a stepping stone to lifelong success. As Congresswoman-elect from the 7th Congressional District, she looks forward to working with not only other elected officials and office holders, but with you, the advocates, the parents, the students, the teachers, who too often feel left out in this conversation. She hears you, she applauds you, and most importantly, she is with you. One more big round of applause for Congresswoman-elect Abigail Spanberger. Let's keep the energy going as I welcome to the platform our Mayor, LeVar Stoney.
Are you cold? Are you here? Did you enjoy the march? Now is the time. We have waited a very, very long time for the Commonwealth to step up and do their part. I want to begin by thanking all the elected officials who joined us today. Superintendent Dr. Cashwell for joining us as well from Henrico County. Our friends from Lynchburg are with us today. Mr. Cameron, thank you so much. The number of teachers and the delegates and parents and students who are joining us today, this would not be possible without you. Each and every day, there is a young man or a young woman who wakes up with a dream. And it is our job as elected officials, as teachers, all working together to give them the legs to stand on to achieve that dream. Unfortunately, the Commonwealth of Virginia has cut the legs out underneath many of our children. For the last 10 years, as I said earlier, we have seen one of the most robust recoveries in a generation in terms of the economy. Yet we've seen a disinvestment from the Commonwealth of Virginia. As was stated earlier, a 9% drop in education funding, while 5% increase in enrollment across this state. Kids who live in Southwest Virginia, who live in the Valley, who live in Northern Virginia, who live on the Eastern Shore, and who live in urban areas like Richmond have been forgotten. Today, we stand up and say, you will hear us, and you will hear us today, you will hear us tomorrow, you will hear us in January. Let me tell you this. I would not be standing before you today if it wasn't for public education. I had a father who did not graduate from high school. I had a grandmother who didn't graduate from high school, made it to 8th grade. They poured their dreams, their hopes, and their livelihood into me. And as devout taxpayers as well, they believed in getting me the best education possible. For many people who look like me, black people, folks who have been marginalized in the past and continue to be marginalized today, education is our pathway to the middle class and above. We are not doing our job if we are closing those pathways today. My number one fear when I go to bed at night is that a person like me, who grew up to parents who didn't have a high school education, won't be able to achieve their dreams in this society. It should be heartbreaking, not just to the folks who are here today, but the folks who occupy the seats in the General Assembly. And we do have allies. Delegate Van Valkenburg's here with us today. Delegate Bourne is here with us today. Delegate McQuinn's with us today. The allies are there. But guess what? They cannot do it without your support. You have to power this movement. If you want more money for public education, I need to see you each and every day down here at the General Assembly. On the cold January mornings when subcommittees are occurring. I need you to see you on January 28th, marching with teachers from across the Commonwealth of Virginia. I want to see you wearing your red. This is about the future. Do we stand on the sidelines idly while the future passes many of our children behind? Or do we stand lockstep together, focused on the General Assembly for more money for education? I think you all know what the answer is. The answer is yes. So if you are tired, like I'm tired, if you're tired of the shortchanging, the disrespect to the teachers, those who inspire our children each and every day, I need you here. Not just today, but in January and in February. If you are tired to the disrespect to the bus drivers and the custodians like my father, who come to work every day, not just to make a livable wage, but to inspire the next generation, I need you with us. If you are tired of buildings falling down, crumbling right before our eyes, I need you with us today and tomorrow. This is not just about people coming together to make some statements. This is about demanding more for better schools and for stronger children. Can we do that? Can we make that happen? Can we do it today? Can we do it tomorrow? Can we do it in January? Can we do it in February? Will they hear us? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Let's get it done. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Stoney. And let's also give a big round of applause to all the members of General Assembly who are here that shaped the budget and will be the voice in January to make the difference. Let's give them a big round of applause. Armstrong High School, where you at? I'd like to introduce your own Deja Waller. You may recognize her from the news coverage that was led by her and other students. We're so excited to have you today. She is a senior at Armstrong High School. A big, big round of applause for Deja Waller.
Thank you. As you heard, my name is Deja Waller, and I'm a senior at Armstrong High School. Today, I am here, sorry. Thank you. Okay. I am a senior at Armstrong High School, an ambassador of the National Honor Society, and I hold the title of Miss Armstrong 2018 through 19. I am here today not only to represent myself or my school, but I'm here to also represent all of my peers of RPS. Because of the lack of funding in our schools, my peers and I have a difficult time living up to the goals that we set aside to be successful. All because of the minimum equipment and lack of assistance towards our schools. All my life I've been hearing, you are the future. Stand up for what you believe in. Give it your best. However, in order for me to hold up my end of the bargain, you have to hold up yours. Start funding in more up-to-date technology and higher qualities of RPS schools so that my fellow peers following behind me can have a better school experience. All students deserve to have an eventful and rewarding experience. Our schools are supposed to represent hope. So I today, representing all of my RPS peers, we all demand that Virginia start funding in our schools so that every student, not just one, every student can reach their full potential. Thank you.
Y'all keep it going for Deja and Asha too. They are our future. Commit to the kids. Thank you. Now I would like to introduce Rodney Robinson, last year's Richmond Teacher of the Year and this year's Virginia Teacher of the Year. He's done tremendous work here in Richmond as a role model for teachers across the state. Let's welcome our Teacher of the Year, Rodney Robinson.
Good afternoon. My name is Rodney Robinson, and I'm the 2019 Virginia Teacher of the Year, and I'm here to say our kids deserve better. On November 13th, the state of Virginia announced that Amazon and the richest man in the world, Jeff Bezos, will be moving their headquarters to Virginia, an announcement applauded by politicians across the state. But they also promised them $1 billion to help them get here. 1 week later, students at an RPS high school could not have gym class because of a giant rat in the middle of the gym floor. No student should be forced to learn in these conditions, and I'm here to say our kids deserve better. That $1 billion could pay for more teachers, counselors, wraparound services, and 21st century school buildings that are not infested with roaches, rats, and mold. Our kids deserve better. The state of Virginia has almost another $1 billion in surplus money that they want to use to expand highways in Northern Virginia. We need to use that money to expand the minds of children by providing more art, music program, and trauma-based care. Our kids deserve better. The state wants to build high-speed rail when children in the rural areas of Virginia don't even have high-speed internet to compete with other students around the country. Our children deserve better. Virginia is the #1 state in referring students to law enforcement because the state of Virginia spends 40% less on at-risk students than other states in the country. Law enforcement is being used to solve problems when kids need counselors, psychologists, and social workers to help them. Our kids deserve better. I see the results of this every day because I teach in a juvenile detention facility. I have seen firsthand the results of underfunded and understaffed schools. I have a student who committed a gun crime after experiencing the trauma of watching a close friend die in his arms. When I asked him why he responded with gun violence to a comment someone made at school, and he told me I was angry and I needed somebody to talk to. That is not the student's fault that he is in jail. That is the fault of the state for not providing enough support and mental health services so that kid could have been received at a fully funded school. Our kids deserve better. And right now, I want every politician to hear me because I'm issuing a warning that if we do not get better and more funding for our schools, we will remember this come Election Day, November 5th, 2019. We will boot you out of office because our kids deserve better.
One more big round of applause for Teacher of the Year, Rodney Robinson. At this time, I'd like for everyone to take their phones out and take a selfie with the person to your left and hit the hashtag more, better, stronger and post it up on social media so we can encourage more people to fight the fight. We'd like to thank everyone for coming out today to show your support for public school education and call on the General Assembly to provide more funding for education for all students across Virginia. The fight does not end here. You can go to morebetterstronger.com, sign the petition, and use your voice to alert elected officials of the issues of our schools and students, what they're facing now for more funding. You can help. Like to thank Mayor Stoney, Superintendents Cashwell and Cameras, and everyone here today. Once again, more money for better schools to build better and stronger students. We're so happy that you are a part of this movement. If you took a shuttle bus from one of the 5 hubs, the buses are parked right on Grace Street to bring you back to the hub where you came from this morning. If you left the bus, if you look, the buses are right there on 9th Street. There are volunteers to show you which bus you're supposed to go on. If you took the bus from the Coliseum or Clay Street parking lots, the buses will not return there. It's only about a 3-block walk, and y'all have already walked enough, so sorry. Those buses will be returning to the South Side hubs, North Side, West End, and the East End hubs. Buses will also be dropping off at MLK Middle School. The buses will continue to come back as long as people need the rides, so you don't have to take the first round of buses. Don't panic. Once again, let's start the chant. More, better, stronger. More, better, stronger. More, better, stronger. We thank you for coming out today.